The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Pluto's moon Charon was never meant to be exciting. For 12 years, it had silently watched the darkness beyond the solar system, gathering data and sending reports back to Earth. But today was different. John Mason sat up straight in his chair as the alert flashed across his screen. The signal patterns were unlike anything he'd seen before. They weren't random space noise or the usual electromagnetic waves from distant stars. These were structured, deliberate, and moving fast. "Control, this is Charon Station," he said into his comm unit, trying to keep his voice steady. "We have multiple anomalies in Sector 7 of the Kuiper Belt. Request immediate verification." Back on Earth, in the underground complex of Earth Defense Command, Admiral James Walker stood before a massive holographic display. Red dots blinked across the projection, showing the positions of 3 research outposts that had gone dark in the past week. No distress signals, no debris fields, just silence. "Show me the Charon data," he ordered. The room's lighting dimmed as new information flooded the display. Complex patterns danced across the screen, telling a story that humanity had been preparing for since the darkest days of the Cold War. They were coming. Walker touched the comm panel on his desk. "Get me the Security Council. Priority Alpha." Within minutes, the secure chamber deep beneath the Rocky Mountains was filled with the world's top military and scientific leaders. Some attended in person, others through encrypted holograms, but all wore the same grim expression. "Ladies and gentlemen," Walker began, his voice echoing in the chamber, "what we've prepared for over the last 70 years is finally happening. The Charon Station has detected clear signs of advanced propulsion systems entering the Kuiper Belt. More importantly, 3 of our deep space research stations have been eliminated with surgical precision." The room remained silent as Walker continued. "Thanks to the foresight of our predecessors, we're not defenseless. Project Legacy has given us everything we need." Dr. Robert Gray, head of the Reverse Engineering Division, stepped forward. His weathered face showed the strain of decades spent unlocking the secrets of alien technology. "The crashes in Roswell and Tunguska weren't accidents," he explained. "They were failed scouting missions. For generations, we've been quietly studying their technology, improving upon it, and preparing our defenses." The holographic display shifted to show Earth's hidden capabilities. Orbital defense platforms disguised as communications satellites, underground cities capable of housing millions, antimatter production facilities hidden in Antarctic bases, fleet after fleet of advanced warships concealed beneath the oceans and inside hollow asteroids. "Our visitors think they're dealing with a primitive species that barely reached its own moon," Walker said, allowing himself a small smile. "They have no idea that we've been expecting them, learning from their previous attempts, and building our strength in secret." In the observation deck of Luna Base, Lieutenant Mark Wilson watched as the first defensive systems came online. Hidden panels across the moon's surface slid open, revealing rows of quantum artillery batteries. Similar weapons platforms were activating across Mars, Venus, and throughout the asteroid belt. "All defense grid sectors reporting ready," his assistant reported. "Shield generators at full capacity." Wilson nodded, remembering the decades of drills and preparation that had led to this moment. Humanity had worked in secret, united by the knowledge that they weren't alone in the universe, and that not everything out there was friendly. Back in the Security Council chamber, Admiral Walker pulled up the final display, a massive transmission array aimed at the approaching vessels. "It's time to let them know," he announced. "Humanity isn't the easy target they think we are. Begin transmission on all known frequencies, including those we recovered from previous incursions." Across the solar system, humanity's message began to broadcast. It was simple, clear, and carried the weight of 70 years of preparation. "To all approaching vessels, we have detected your presence. We have survived your previous attempts. We have learned. We have prepared. This is not a warning. It's a fact. Earth is ready. Earth is waiting. Your next move will determine if we meet as equals or as enemies." In the depths of space, the alien scouts received the message. For the first time in their long history of expansion and conquest, they felt something unfamiliar: doubt. The game had changed. Humanity wasn't just ready. They had been waiting all along. Commander Mike Roberts had trained for this moment his entire life. As his ship, the EDS Defender, moved silently through the darkness of space, he thought about all the simulations, all the drills. But this was no drill. This was Operation First Light, humanity's first deliberate contact with an alien force. Target vessels maintaining course, his tactical officer reported. 3 scout ships, approximately 40,000 kilometers ahead. Roberts straightened in his command chair. Around him, the bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency. Their ship, hidden beneath layers of advanced stealth technology, was the product of decades of reverse engineering and human innovation. Weapons status, Roberts asked. Quantum cannons charge. Shield generators at maximum capacity. All systems green. The plan was simple but bold. They would demonstrate Earth's power in a way that couldn't be ignored. No more hiding, no more secrecy. It was time to show the aliens exactly what they were dealing with. Begin approach sequence, Roberts ordered. Keep our stealth systems engaged until my mark. The Defender glided forward, closing the distance to the alien scouts. Through the main viewport, Roberts could see them now, sleek, predatory shapes moving against the star field. They looked exactly like the designs recovered from the Roswell archives. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we're picking up their internal transmissions. They're discussing Earth. They think we're still using chemical rockets." Roberts smiled. "Let's update their information. All hands, battle stations." Throughout the ship, warning lights flashed as crews moved to their combat positions. The Defender's engines hummed with power that shouldn't have been possible according to the aliens' intelligence reports. "Distance to target?" Roberts asked. 20,000 kilometers and closing." "Perfect." Roberts took a deep breath. "Disengage stealth systems. Power up the main drive. Let them see us." In space, the Defender shimmered into visibility. Its hull, made of materials that could repair themselves, gleamed in the starlight. The ship's quantum drive core pulsed with blue energy, announcing its presence to the surprised alien vessels. The reaction was immediate. The alien scouts broke formation, weapons charging, trying to bring their guns to bear on this impossible human ship. "They're powering up their main weapons," Tactical reported, reading energy signatures consistent with plasma cannons. "Let them fire first," Roberts commanded. "Then show them what we can do." The aliens didn't disappoint. 3 brilliant beams of energy lanced out from their ships, streaking across space toward the Defender. This same weapon had destroyed the research outposts, leaving nothing but silence. "Shields up." The energy beams struck the Defender's defensive screen and simply stopped. Decades of studying alien shield technology had led to improvements the original designers had never imagined. The attacks dissipated harmlessly against the barrier. "Our turn," Roberts said quietly. "Target their weapon systems. Minimal power. We're sending a message, not starting a war." The Defender's quantum cannons fired. Precise beams of concentrated energy struck each alien vessel, carefully disabling their weapon systems without causing catastrophic damage. The shots were surgical, deliberate, and demonstrated a level of technical sophistication that should have been impossible for humans to achieve. "Open all frequencies," Roberts ordered. "Let's make sure they understand." The communications officer nodded, and Roberts began to speak. His words were automatically translated into every alien language Earth had decoded over the years. "Attention, alien vessels. Your weapons have been disabled as a demonstration. This is not an act of war, but a demonstration of capability. You believed Earth to be defenseless. You were wrong. We have learned from every encounter, every crashed scout ship, every piece of technology you left behind. We have improved upon them all." Roberts paused, letting the message sink in. Return to your fleet. Show them this recording. Tell them that Earth is not the primitive world they think it is. We are ready. We are waiting. And we are far more advanced than your intelligence suggests. The alien ships hung motionless in space, their weapons systems offline, their crews presumably struggling to understand how their supposedly primitive targets had managed this. Message sent and received. Communications reported. They're retreating. Roberts watched as the 3 scout ships turned and accelerated away, no doubt racing to report this unexpected development to their superiors. Well done, everyone, he said to his crew. Phase 1 complete. Now we wait for their response. The real test would come soon enough, when the aliens decided how to deal with a humanity that had just revealed itself to be far more dangerous than anyone had expected. The underground city of Haven 1 buzzed with activity. 3 miles beneath the Rocky Mountains, millions of civilians moved through its massive halls and living quarters. What had once been the world's best-kept secret was now humanity's greatest shelter. Dr. Anna Thompson stood at the main control center, watching as more people arrived through the high-speed underground transit systems. On the screens before her, similar scenes played out in underground cities across the globe. Moscow, Beijing, London, each one built in absolute secrecy over decades. Status report, she called out to her team. Haven 1 is at 60% capacity, her assistant replied. Food and water supplies for 10 years are secured. Medical facilities are fully staffed. Defense systems are operational. Thompson nodded, then turned her attention to the holographic display showing her life's work. The quantum shield generator. It wasn't just any shield. It was the result of 30 years of improving upon captured alien technology. Dr. Thompson, a young technician, rushed up to her. The test results from the Mars facility just came in. The new weapons system, it works. It actually works. She allowed herself a small smile. The quantum disruptor wasn't just a weapon. It was proof that humanity had surpassed their would-be invaders in at least one crucial area. Above ground, Admiral Walker stood in the Global Defense Command, watching as the world's militaries united under a single banner for the first time in human history. Old enemies became allies, all borders forgotten in the face of a common threat. Report from the Luna base, his aide announced. All orbital defense platforms are online. The asteroid belt defense grid is active. Venus and Mars stations report ready. Walker studied the massive tactical display. Thousands of hidden weapons platforms, carefully disguised as space debris or common satellites, now revealed their true nature. Each one was more powerful than anything Earth had publicly admitted to possessing. And the fleet? He asked. All ships are emerging from their hiding places. The Atlantic Fleet is surfacing now. On another screen, massive warships rose from the ocean depths where they had waited for years. Similar scenes played out across the globe. Ships emerging from underground lakes, hidden mountain bases, and hollowed-out asteroids. In orbit around Jupiter, Commander Lisa Reed supervised the activation of humanity's most ambitious defense project. Antimatter production facilities, hidden in the gas giant storms, powered up their reactors. Production rates at maximum, she reported back to Earth. We'll have enough antimatter warheads to defend the entire solar system within 48 hours. The aliens would return, everyone knew that, but they would find a very different Earth than their scouts had reported. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Global Defense Council held its first official meeting. Representatives from every nation sat together, their former differences forgotten. The autonomous defense systems on Mars and Venus are fully operational, the Chinese general reported. Any ship approaching from those vectors will face immediate response. The Moon's surface cannons are disguised and ready, added the Russian admiral. They'll never see them until it's too late. Admiral Walker stood to address the council. For 70 years, we kept these preparations secret. We let the aliens think we were divided, primitive, easy targets. That deception ends today. On screens around the room, Earth's true military might was displayed. Fighters equipped with gravity manipulation technology, warships powered by zero-point energy, weapons that could disrupt the fabric of space itself. We've learned from every encounter, Walker continued. Every piece of alien technology that crashed on Earth. Every scout ship we secretly disabled and studied. We didn't just copy their technology, we improved it. And now, he paused as new alerts flashed across the screens. The long-range sensors were detecting massive energy signatures approaching the solar system. The alien fleet had been called. Now they're coming to test us, he finished. And we're ready. In orbit, Earth's hidden fleets took up defensive positions. On the ground, more civilians moved into the safety of the underground cities. Around the solar system, automated defense systems powered up, ready to protect humanity's domain. The greatest test in human history was approaching. But for the first time, humanity faced it not as separate nations, but as one species, united and prepared. The aliens were coming back in force, but this time, Earth was ready to show them exactly what humanity could do when pushed too far. The alien armada appeared at the edge of the solar system, their ships emerging from faster-than-light travel in a display of power that would have terrified a less prepared species. There were hundreds of them, their massive warships casting long shadows across the stars. In Earth's diplomatic chamber, Ambassador Tom Miller adjusted his uniform. After 20 years of practicing first contact scenarios, the real moment had arrived. The chamber itself was a marvel of human engineering, its walls lined with technology that could translate any known alien language in real time. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, the communications officer announced. They're requesting, no, demanding to speak with Earth's leaders. Miller nodded. Let's show them what real diplomacy looks like. Open the channel. The air in front of him shimmered, and a holographic image appeared. The alien commander was tall, with gray-blue skin and eyes, that spoke of countless military victories. It was clear from his stance that he expected this conversation to be brief. Just another primitive species to be conquered. I am Supreme Commander Krall of the Galactic Expansion Fleet, the alien announced, his words automatically translated. Your recent display of force has been noted. However, resistance is pointless. Miller interrupted, speaking in perfect galactic standard. I think you'll find that's not the case, Supreme Commander. I am Ambassador Tom Miller of Earth's United Defense Council. The alien's eyes widened slightly at hearing his own language from a primitive human. Yes, we speak your language, Miller continued. We speak all of them. Every scout ship you sent, every crashed vessel, every piece of technology. We studied them all. We learned. We adapted. We improved. Behind Miller, a holographic display activated, showing footage from 50 years ago. A crashed alien ship in Roswell, another in Siberia, a third in the Amazon. Each one carefully hidden from public view, but studied intensively. Impossible, Krall growled. Those were accidents, random crashes. Miller smiled. Were they, or did we disable them? Your records show Earth as a primitive world that barely reached its own moon. Tell me, Supreme Commander, why would a primitive species have quantum shields, antimatter weapons, gravity control? The alien commander's expression shifted from confidence to uncertainty. Your scouts recently discovered our true capabilities, Miller continued. Now you face a choice. You can turn your fleet around and leave our solar system in peace, or you can witness firsthand just how much we've learned from your previous visits. Krall's image flickered as he received new information from his sensors. His eyes widened further as he saw the true extent of Earth's defenses. Hidden bases on Mars and Venus revealed themselves. The asteroid belt lit up with weapon signatures. Earth's massive fleet emerged from its hiding places. This is deception, Krall insisted, but his voice lacked conviction. No species could advance this quickly. Not quickly, Miller corrected. Patiently, methodically. While you saw our public space program using chemical rockets, Our real ships were hidden beneath the oceans. While you watched our primitive satellites, our quantum sensors studied your empire. We knew you would come eventually. We made sure we would be ready." The chamber fell silent as Krell processed this information. His empire had conquered dozens of worlds, but none had ever been so thoroughly prepared. "You have 1 hour to make your decision," Miller said firmly. "Withdraw, and we can discuss peaceful relations between our civilizations. Stay, and learn why we've spent 70 years preparing for this moment." A hologram flickered off. In the silence that followed, Miller turned to Admiral Walker, who had been watching from the shadows. "Do you think they'll leave?" Miller asked. Walker shook his head. "Their empire has never faced real resistance. Their pride won't let them withdraw. Not yet. Then they'll learn the hard way," Miller sighed. "All defense stations, maintain battle readiness. All civilian centers, continue lockdown procedures. If they choose war, we'll show them exactly what humanity can do." In space, the alien fleet hung motionless, their weapons powered but not yet firing. On Earth, in underground cities and hidden bases, humanity waited. The next hour would determine whether first contact would end in peace or become the greatest battle in human history. The countdown began. The hour passed. Humanity's answer came in the form of a massive energy blast from the alien flagship, aimed directly at Earth's moon base. Supreme Commander Krell had made his choice. Lieutenant Kate Davis stood at her post in Luna Command, watching the incoming blast. Years of training kicked in as she calmly gave the order, "Activate quantum shields." The blast that should have destroyed the entire base simply disappeared into the shield's protective field. In the silence that followed, Davis smiled. "Return fire. Show them what Earth can really do." The moon's surface transformed. Hidden panels slid open across the lunar landscape, revealing row after row of advanced weapon systems. Each one contained technology that the aliens thought impossible for humans to possess. "All batteries, fire at will," Davis commanded. The dark side of the moon lit up like a new sun. Hundreds of quantum beams lanced out towards the alien fleet. Ships that had conquered dozens of worlds found their shields failing against weapons they'd never seen before. In Earth's orbit, Admiral Walker watched the battle unfold. "Launch the main fleet. Operation Thunderstrike is now active." Earth's oceans churned as massive warships rose from their underwater hideouts. From secret bases in the mountains, squadrons of fighters took to the sky. The ground itself opened up as hidden launch facilities activated. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "the aliens are launching their fighter squadrons. Thousands of them." "Deploy our gravity net," Walker ordered. In space, the alien fighters suddenly found themselves caught in artificial gravity fields. Their engines, designed for normal space combat, couldn't compensate for the constantly shifting gravitational forces. Dozens of ships crashed into each other, their formations broken. Lieutenant Davis watched from Luna Base as Earth's fighters engaged the enemy. The aliens expected primitive spacecraft. Instead, they faced fighters equipped with inertial dampeners and quantum weapons, piloted by humans who had trained their entire lives for this moment. "They're targeting our shield generators," Davis reported to Earth Command. "But they're using outdated scanning technology. They can't even detect our real power systems." On the main battlefield, Earth's fleet proved its worth. Ships that had been built and hidden over decades now revealed their true power. Antimatter torpedoes pierced alien shields. Quantum beams cut through hull armor like paper. "Status report," Walker demanded. "We've destroyed 30% of their fleet," his officer replied. "Our casualties are minimal. Shield technology is holding. The Mars defense grid is fully engaged." The alien fleet tried to regroup, attempting to form their famous Death Circle formation. It was a tactic that had broken planetary defenses across the galaxy. But Earth was ready. "Activate the Jupiter stations," Walker commanded. Around Jupiter, hidden antimatter production facilities powered up their main weapons. Massive energy beams shot across the solar system, breaking up the alien formation before it could complete. In his flagship, Supreme Commander Krell watched in disbelief as his fleet was systematically taken apart by the supposedly primitive humans. His sensors showed impossible readings, technology that shouldn't exist, weapons that couldn't work, shields that couldn't be breached. "All ships, fall back," he ordered. "Regroup at." His transmission was cut short as Earth's main fleet pressed their advantage. The humans weren't just fighting back, they were winning. "Luna Base to Earth Command," Davis reported. "Enemy forces are retreating past the Mars defense line. Should we pursue?" Walker considered for a moment. "Negative. Let them run. They need to survive to tell others what happened here." The battle had lasted less than 3 hours. The mighty alien armada, terror of 1,000 worlds, was in full retreat. Behind them, they left the wrecks of their finest ships, destroyed by weapons they hadn't thought possible. In Luna Command, Davis watched the enemy fleet flee. On her screens, she could see the damage reports. Earth's losses were minimal. Their decades of preparation had paid off. "Send word to all commands," Walker's voice came through the comm. "Phase 1 is complete. Maintain battle stations. They'll be back, and next time they'll be desperate. But now they know. Earth isn't just ready. Earth is dominant." The solar system fell quiet again, but it was a different kind of quiet. The secrecy was over. The galaxy now knew that humanity wasn't just another primitive species to be conquered. They were a force to be reckoned with. The alien reinforcements arrived 3 days later. This time, they came with their entire battle fleet, over 1,000 ships, including their legendary planet killer vessels. They expected to find a weakened Earth, exhausted from the first battle. They were wrong. Admiral Walker stood in the command center of humanity's newest weapon, the EDS Prometheus, hidden in orbit around Saturn. The massive ship represented everything humanity had achieved, a perfect fusion of reverse-engineered alien technology and human innovation. "Enemy fleet approaching Jupiter's orbit," his tactical officer reported. "They're moving slower this time, more cautious." "They've learned," Walker nodded. "But not enough. Begin Operation Sunstorm." Across the solar system, humanity's true power began to reveal itself. The hidden facilities around the sun powered up, activating technology that the aliens had never even dreamed possible. Massive solar collectors, built in secret over decades, began channeling the sun's energy into weapons. "Sir," the communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from their new commander." The holographic display showed a much older alien leader, High Admiral Voss, the most decorated military commander in their empire's history, had taken personal command after Supreme Commander Krell's failure. "Humans," Voss spoke, his voice carrying centuries of authority, "your resistance is impressive but futile. We bring the full might of our empire. Surrender now, and your species will be preserved." Walker's response was simple. "Look up." Above the alien fleet, space itself seemed to tear open. The Prometheus dropped its cloak, revealing its true size, a ship larger than anything the aliens had ever built. Around it, hundreds of similar vessels appeared, Earth's hidden fleet finally showing its full strength. "That's impossible," Voss whispered. "Your technology level. Our scouts were shown exactly what we wanted them to see," Walker replied. "While you watched our space shuttles, these ships were being built inside Jupiter's moons. While you monitored our primitive satellites, we studied your every weakness." The alien fleet began to move into attack formation, but Earth struck first. The solar collectors fired, sending concentrated beams of plasma through space. Dozens of alien ships vanished instantly. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Omega," Walker commanded. The human fleet moved with perfect coordination. Decades of simulation and training paid off as they executed maneuvers that the aliens had never seen before. Ships vanished and reappeared using short-range quantum jumps. Gravity weapons pulled alien vessels into each other. On the Prometheus's bridge, Walker watched as humanity's greatest achievement unveiled itself. The quantum core at the ship's heart powered up, creating a localized field that changed the very laws of physics around the alien fleet. Their weapons won't work in altered space, Walker explained to the shocked alien commander. Their shields are useless. Their engines are dead. This is technology we created, not copied. This is human innovation. The alien fleet hung helpless in space, caught in the quantum field. Centuries of galactic dominance meant nothing now. They had finally met a species that hadn't just prepared for them, but had surpassed them. Listen carefully. Walker addressed the entire alien fleet. You will withdraw from our solar system. You will spread word of what happened here. Earth is not a target. Earth is not a prize to be won. Earth is a power that your empire is not prepared to face. In his flagship, High Admiral Voss stared at the sensor readings in disbelief. The humans hadn't just matched alien technology. They had taken it in directions his scientists had never imagined. Their weapons didn't just destroy ships. They altered reality itself. Hold position, Voss ordered his fleet. We accept your terms. The quantum field disappeared, leaving the alien ships intact but humbled. As they turned to retreat, Walker sent one final message. Remember this day. Remember what happened when you pushed humanity too far. We didn't just prepare for war. We revolutionized warfare itself. Spread the word. Earth is off limits. The alien fleet disappeared into deep space, leaving behind a changed solar system. Humanity had not just survived. They had proven themselves to be a force that could reshape the galaxy itself. In the command center, Walker watched them go. Send word to all Earth forces, maintain battle stations, and contact the Science Division. It's time to begin Phase 2. The real revolution was just beginning. 1 month after the Great Battle, the Galactic Council requested an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. For the first time in known history, the most powerful alien species gathered not to plan a conquest, but to understand how they had been so thoroughly outmatched. The meeting place was symbolic. The United Nations building in New York, now emerging from its underground shelter. Earth would host the galaxy's leaders on human terms, on human ground. Admiral Walker and Ambassador Miller stood at the entrance as the alien delegates arrived. Each species had sent their highest leaders, some traveling for weeks just to attend. Their faces showed a mixture of fear, respect, and curiosity. Welcome to Earth, Miller announced in perfect galactic standard. Please follow me. The grand conference room had been modified with advanced holographic systems. As the aliens took their seats, the air filled with images, 70 years of human preparation displayed in perfect detail. You're probably wondering how we did it, Walker began. How did a primitive species become the most advanced military power in this sector of the galaxy? The answer is simple. You all helped us without even knowing it. The holograms showed crashed ships, captured technology, and secret facilities. But more importantly, they showed something the aliens had never expected, improvements on their own designs. Every scout ship you sent, Walker continued, every piece of technology we recovered, taught us something new. But we didn't just copy your technology. We asked questions you never thought to ask. We found answers you never sought. Ambassador Miller stepped forward. Your empire, High Admiral Voss, gave us quantum physics when we studied your engines. The Centaurians showed us gravity control through their failed invasion probes. The Arcturus Federation's crashed ships taught us about antimatter containment. The alien leaders shifted uncomfortably as more images appeared, detailed scans of their homeworlds, their fleet movements, their secret bases. Yes, Miller nodded at their reaction. While you watched our primitive satellites, our quantum sensors mapped your entire civilization. While you monitored our radio signals, we decoded your most secure transmissions. But why reveal this now? Asked the Arcturian Chancellor. Why not stay hidden? Walker smiled. Because humanity has made a decision. The age of conquest is over. The galaxy will no longer be ruled by whoever has the biggest fleet or the most advanced weapons. The holographic display changed, showing Earth's new defense network. Quantum satellites positioned near every major star system. Monitoring stations hidden in dimensional pockets. A web of protection that covered not just Earth, but much of the known galaxy. "This is our final warning," Miller declared. "Earth is not interested in conquest. We don't want your territories or your resources. What we want is peace, guaranteed by strength. Any species that attacks another will deal with us." The alien leaders watched as more classified files appeared. Detailed battle plans for defeating every known alien military force. Contingencies for every possible scenario. "But we also offer something else," Miller continued, his tone softening. "Partnership. Earth is willing to share some of our advancements. Clean energy, medical technology, environmental restoration. We can help build a better galaxy together. The choice is yours." Walker stepped forward. "You came to Earth thinking you would find an easy conquest. Instead, you found humanity. A species that took your best technology and made it better. A species that turned your own weapons against you. A species that now stands ready to enforce peace across the galaxy." The alien leaders looked at each other, centuries of military rivalry giving way to a new reality. Earth hadn't just beaten them, it had transcended them. "The time for war is over," Miller concluded. "You can accept this new era of peace and prosperity, or you can test Earth's resolve again. But remember, we're not just ready. We're not just waiting. We're watching. Always watching." As the alien leaders filed out of the conference room, many still in shock, Walker turned to Miller. "Do you think they understood the message?" Miller nodded. They understood. The galaxy just changed forever. The question is, what will they do with this knowledge? Above them, Earth's quantum defense grid hummed silently in space, ready to enforce humanity's final warning to the galaxy. Peace through strength, unity through understanding, and progress through cooperation. The age of human dominance had begun.